This is the box of the Tony Thomas Big Loader. Typical box of toy for the children of this age. Plenty of bright colours and decals, and if you turn it over, a brief description of what happens. Now we compare it to the set. Fully assembled, the box is smaller than the set. Now unfortunately I'm missing the box for the Thomas Big Loader. It didn't come with the purchase when I bought it off eBay, but I do have the box for the post office loader. And if we have a look at it, we can see that this box is huge compared to the size of the set anyway. And if we look at this set and compare it quickly to the other set, we can see that not much difference. But then, why the difference in box size? We can see here that one is almost 1.5 times bigger than the other. So, could we possibly be seeing box overfilling before our eyes? Here we can see a lineup of the characters that can be removed in these sets. Because I have all of them, we have 3 Thomases. Now, if we have a look at this, we can see that not a terrible representation of Thomas. However, his bunker is ridiculously large. This, though, is part of the functioning of the set, so that's to be expected. Then we look at Thomas's face. Now, on close inspection, a bit of a funny looking face, and what's this? His eyebrows are off center, as well as his eyes. But, if we have a look at even the next ones, all of them are like this. So it seems that the mould has off-center eyebrows and a funny looking face. We can see this with Percy too. Once again, the few stickers that have been applied really add to this model. And once again, a face that's slightly off, but not too bad, and with off-center eyebrows. Now, his bunker is also oversized, but that is also to do with the function of the set. Now we move on to our 2 digging mobiles. The first one is Terrence. Now, both of these guys have completely new tooling, except for the claw. We can see that Terrence has quite a Terrence-like face, as when compared to the TV series, even with the small black brow. However, although the body is sort of right, with a small little chair, open chair that his driver sits in, I don't think we ever saw a Terrence with a claw quite like this one in the TV series. As with Lorry 1 here. Now there's no decals to suggest that this is Lorry 1. We're just told this by the box. Once again, this Lorry probably has the best representation of the faces in the whole series of what they look like in a TV show. Yes, Lorry looks alright until a claw. Seriously? In the one episode that the horror Lorries were in, none of them had a claw like this. Anyway, these are not the only characters though included in the sets. We also have Cranky. Now, if we remove him from the set, he doesn't stand up very well, as we can see. But he actually has quite a good face, looking quite like the TV series model. And his body looks quite good, even when it is fitted to the model. However, in the advertising of the new Thomas Cranky and the Coal Loader set, not the Big Loader, which I'll talk about later, it is advertised that he is a removable character, when in fact, as I showed you just then, if we remove him... Our last but not least character included in these sets is Harold. Harold also has quite a nice representation, from the face to the design. He is the design with a 3-propeller Harold. Now, he is also one of the characters who is fixed. He's attached to this pole and cannot be moved, and carries a Sodor mail bucket, which, although it is what Harold takes, has never been seen in the television series or the books. So overall, not a bad spread of characters for only 3 children's sets. But how does the track system work? What is this for? The entire Big Loader series revolves around this single motor, one of the only pieces which hasn't changed through the entire set. Sometimes you can find it in white. It is a small AA, as we can see here, powered device, which powers everything that happens in the entire set, from Cranky's arm moving to each individual loco. It has a few design features like these knobs here. These allow the engine's bodies to slip on and make sure they don't fall off during transport, as well as this. This is used by both Laurie and Terrence to make sure their bodies, when using the claw, do not fall off. It is single axle drive. We can see this because this axle has traction tyres. These can be replaced, although it's very difficult to do this. Now, the bottom is actually quite cluttered. We can see the first thing here is the guide pins. These flip up and, you guessed it, guide the train around the track. When it's fitted in, we can see that the wheels follow the track no matter which direction they go. Having special alignments like this one means that the pins will go straight and follow it around, and then here go this way because it is the most straight path, and then down along here and through here. The next feature is this small white switch. What is it? Well, we can see in the set that sometimes they magically change direction, and this is why. This is a change. When one of these small devices protruding from the track hits the directional switch, the locomotive motor changes directions. So that's that explained. This gear is also very important, and is one thing that I think would be the first you would think to break on this model. Now the way this gear works is, we can see it is very, very small, and that means it's going to have a low rotation speed compared to the rotation speed of the wheels. So if we have a look at a piece of the track like this bit here, we can see that there is a ridged rise in the track. What happens here is that as the wheels travel over these ridges, the small white wheel sticks in, as I've shown here. We can actually see that the front wheel actually lifts off the track, just ever so slightly, so that they can roll independently. This means that on function sections of the track, like this one, here we can see it also, here, whenever an engine is needed to go slower, here for the loading, we can see that these cogs make sure that the engines do not go too fast so that they derail, or that say, here, the balls go everywhere. But there is one slight problem about this, which I'll get to later. The small white gear even powers this gear here, which, when the pins get locked in behind this small white section here, the cogs move this wheel, which lifts up this claw, as shown in the first video, like so. But there are also gears in the elevator, and that's how it works. But these are powered by this gear here on the outer wheel, rather than the inner one. This is because a faster rotation speed is needed, otherwise the engines would take forever in the lift. And no one wants to spend all day watching that. The track itself is quite rigid and well designed. If you have a look at this, you can see that hollow but very sturdy, and the connections wobble a bit, and with a quick wobble come apart. Now despite all these small pieces, they easily interlock and rarely ever break. Many of these sets have been pre-owned, and you see them on eBay all the time, yet the pieces are still in perfect working order. These pieces here are only included in the very original Big Loader set, and that means you can choose to change the direction of the train around even when the train's not supposed to, adding an interactive element which the other sets fail to have. These bits are also switches. They're spring-loaded, and they need to be held to switch the train from the Big Loader to the Big Loader.